Never had one lesson. But, it's something to do here while we're in self-isolation, quarantine, shelter in place. Um, yeah, had to pick up a new hobby. Should be at the racetrack, but, things are changing and we're hanging out. So, yeah, learn how to play piano. Pretty good start. Hopefully everybody is safe and healthy as well, and finding new things to do and doing your part to stay in the house and stay away from others. And we'll beat this thing, right? That's the idea. Gosh, all right. I'm bored already. I'm gonna find out what other people are doing. I'm gonna call my buddy John Schomer at Heavy Metal Affliction, turn 10. Consummate car guy, streaming live content creator, video guy. Let's see what he's up to. If he answers, maybe he's busy.
Well, hey, what's up,
What
man?
is what's going on, man? Is that the
Yeah,
is that
let me turn off the rock band here. Hold on a second.
is that the rock and roll? Is that the heavy metal camera angle right there?
Yeah, there. That's
What?
that's Johniwanna on stage right there. It's,
Nice.
another wishful me, I guess. Uh,
How did I know that you were doing that? Look what I'm doing right now. Check it out. I'm playing.
ah, hey, maybe we could have a band together.
Never had one lesson.
Yeah, I love me some rock band, and we've been playing a bunch.
Yeah.
Boys doing rock the virus. We're calling it. So
Rock the virus. I love it.
maybe somebody will get a good idea there.
Hey, there's always that classic tune, My Corona.
Have you seen that?
I have. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
The Bohemian Rhapsody one.
I haven't seen that one.
You got to find the COVID-19 Rhapsody. It just had me literally rolling. A little levity during these
For
strange
sure.
times.
You kind of have to. I mean, I don't want to laugh. I don't want to make light of the situation or smite light of anything that's happening out there and anybody that's affected. First of all, actually, before I keep going here with this call, you good? Everyone you know good? Everyone in your
Yeah,
house, your neighbors, everybody's healthy and
yeah. I mean, as far as COVID, as far as the virus
yeah,
goes,
yeah. Because I mean, other things, yeah, we don't have to talk about those things. Those are
my,
yeah.
my neighbor just my neighbor just had his appendix out.
Oh,
He
see,
like all of a sudden sick, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to go over there, but then turns out it was appendix.
yeah.
His appendix burst when they were taking it out, so he's having a real hard time.
Yeah, I
Uh,
bet. Bummer. Well, hopefully he stays healthy and stays out of. Weirdly, that like the hospitals are now the worst place you could be. So hopefully he's going to mend on his own and do well. So
yeah, and get back here to the privacy of of where we live out here.
for
So we're
sure. So what's going on, man? Besides rocking out to doing your part, obviously staying indoors and rocking out on your virtual rock star thing there, rock
that's
band.
kind of the other game that I play. It's kind of it's a total escape
Yeah,
to just go ahead and crank the music up and play Rockstar.
cool.
Um, but if you want to see, I made some shelves today. You might have
Let's
seen.
yeah.
I'm pretty proud of those. Um, this is kind of it's not.
Wow, that's impressive.
Toilet paper stock right there. It's not a lot. But I do have a lot of water. I'll admit that because we all drink that stuff. We don't drink a lot of soda around here,
Gotcha. Yeah.
and I can put away like a 12 pack of that every other day, pretty much.
So are you mixing papers or you got paper towels and toilet paper side by side? Is that the
Yeah.
deal? Or
Okay.
okay.
Well, they're on different shelves.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good.
actually, no. On the top shelf, you're right. There is toilet paper next to the. No. They're separate.
There you
They're
go.
there.
Okay, good. Good, good.
Paper towels. Yeah.
Just
Not. Yeah. We don't go through a lot of that stuff. I don't really go that often.
well, you got a big property. You can just go out, and
Yeah, isn't
whatever.
that the thing, though? That's like the weirdest thing out of all this that people are more worried about their butts than than buying vitamins or something to
Dude,
help them.
I heard a joke. I heard a joke a long time ago. um, my family's all from Europe. I still have a lot of family there, and the joke a long time ago used to be that that Americans would complain, or like the joke about with two Americans about Europeans was that Europeans had dirty hands, or no, wait, oh, I'm going to mess up the joke already.
Hair?
I'm getting there. It's uh, oh, I can't remember the joke. Anyway, it was some stupid toilet paper joke. Anyway, I'll think of it here. I'm getting old, so I have the right to mess up jokes and forget jokes literally before I start them like that. So
I'm familiar with that.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
But to look good is to feel good.
that's right. All right, man. So shelves rocking out. What? So has how is this? What are you doing? Like, has this thing
Oh,
changed you? Like you're like not leaving the house. You doing all your show? I mean, you do most of your shows from the garage anyway,
I
right?
think
Or do
the
you?
biggest impact for me, of course, from otherwise having both my boys not in school,
Mm,
I was doing a lot of homeschooling stuff. But I do a couple shows a week from Turn 10 Studios broadcast room normally. I stopped doing those several weeks ago and have been broadcasting solely from my garage, which I'm walking out to right now, so I can kind of show you because you haven't seen it since for a while.
yeah,
And then,
I just remember the joke, by the way. So
oh, wait, go for it.
so Europeans complain that Americans use too much toilet paper, like way too much
Okay.
toilet paper, and Americans complain that the Europeans have dirty hands. So there it is.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah. When I was 7 years old, it was funny.
I
So
don't see any point to that,
yeah, yeah. Anyway,
but I'm glad you remembered it.
warm washcloth. That's all I have to say. Warm washcloth.
Yeah, or yeah, just
You know,
go jump in the shower. Whatever. There's lots of
there's
solutions.
some
For
solutions
that.
to that problem.
It's a weird time, so people are going to react weird.
All right. Anyway, so you do shows from home anyway, or a couple of them.
Yeah, and now I'm doing them all from home. And now recently with with the state mandated stay at home order and increased concerns, I usually have a guest. You were a guest on Wheel and Pedal Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I do that every week. I have somebody bring a car in and a guest, and we sit semi close together and have a discussion, about their car life. And
Right.
on Fridays, I bring in additional guests to be on Daily Driver to discuss a topic that they're an expert in for 30 minutes. And so I can't do that
Mm-hmm. Right.
anymore. So now I'm playing more Forza shows on
Mm-hmm.
Wheel and Pedal Wednesday, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of that's an impact for me because I love having people over. I love sharing their stories
Yeah.
and hanging out with somebody with a really cool car on the driveway. Maybe having them let me do donuts in my own driveway out in their race car on my birthday. Something like
Oh, I don't know when that happened. That was. Actually, I was trolling. I was trolling your or your Instagram page because it was weirdly I wasn't connected with you on Instagram. I was just only on Facebook. And yeah, so you got one more follower on both your personal and your garage or heavy metal. And yeah, and I saw like the whole list of or the whole all the posts from all the cars and all the people that you've had on Pedal Wednesday, and there's some cool stuff, some really cool stuff. And then yeah, and of course I was looking for mine specifically because we're all that vain that we need to make sure we see our
Yep,
own.
you got back a ways though, huh?
It was back a ways. It was like yeah, I mean it was kind of early on. It was
That was
a lot of fun.
yep, a year and 6 months ago, I think.
Yeah, that was like fourth or fifth in, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Maybe it was.
but
I don't know. But
on that note, I mean, look at the garage now. You can.
I know. So listen. I think I was one of the last. Yeah, it's gorgeous, man. And I think go down your floor, right? Didn't you redo your floor?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
See, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I feel like on the one hand, I'm proud of the fact that I was there when it was a garage that was a little bit more used and loved and worked over. We had to move some things
Oh
around
yeah.
to get the car in, and now I think
They kind of. It wasn't a studio. Now it's really a
yeah,
garage.
yeah. So I think if I'm not mistaken, the person that you had to kind of sort of had to clean it up for after mine and maybe one other guy after mine was Fred Russell bringing in one of his fancy pants cars. Right? Am I right about that?
He's been in twice, yeah. And the first time was with the Mercedes,
Gullwing.
the Gullwing.
Yeah.
And back then I think I had just had the insulation up on the walls, which was better than just 2x4 walls and the siding on the outside, and nothing on the floor, and kind of the standard garage where you can just kind of have stuff, and you just pin it up, versus like planning it out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came back with the Cobra just a couple months ago, it was very close to what it is now. Both those cars were red, so
Yeah.
the floor is just super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love it.
I think it's great.
I'm very very thankful, very lucky, that for what I get to do. And not only do I get to keep my job do during this, it's maybe even more important because it gives people who are trapped at home more stuff to do, to watch, to interact with. And here, it inspires me to keep working out in the garage. I spent more time out here
Yeah.
since I've ever lived out here, and that's fun.
Yeah, for sure. No, it looks great. I'm happy for you that you're able to get that thing closer to where you want it. I'm sure. Probably not quite there. I mean, I'm sure you've always got aspirations of making the
Oh
production
yeah,
side of it and the
there's
studio side
still
of it.
insulation up in the roof. There's open
Yeah,
space there. There's always more to do, right? If you ask the question, what's the next thing is your car done now? Well, of course no. Your car's
right.
never done,
Never done.
right?
Right.
There's always more that you'd like to do.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking. So a lot of what you do is, on the game side, obviously Turn 10. A lot of your content creator, the show side. You've got some driving. You've definitely got some driving under your belt. I mean, I think I've been involved in a little bit of it, with Performance and with
Yep.
Alpha Club and stuff like that. What
Yep.
what was your first? What was your very first track event? Like when you went from the sim seat or from wanting to do track and reading about it and watching it and playing it on to actually getting in the car and doing it. What was your very first one?
First one was a Porsche Club event out at Bremerton Motorsports Park. It was a
Right.
driver skills day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that kind of
That
qualifies.
absolutely counts. Yeah.
So we did full on. It was a full day. And at Bremerton Motorsports, you kind of do your standard driver skills stuff, and then they end up setting up a big autocross course for you.
Yep.
And so you're learning autocross navigation as well as applying all the braking, steering, acceleration inputs. I've done that a couple times, and then my first real track day was with you. With Northwest Alpha Club, of which I am now a member.
Yeah, you are, and you're also quickly jumping in with both feet and new board member or whatever. I mean, it's you've got a role now.
Join. I'm on the board as membership coordinator. So I guess that position's been wanting to be filled by somebody for a while, and I'm really looking forward to give back and
Yeah.
contribute and do some more stuff. That's really going to help me do the other things I do and help me give back some.
Totally.
So Fred offered it, and I was like, heck yeah, I'd love to do that. As long as you can, deal with me ramping up a little bit and
Yeah.
the fact that I don't own an Alpha.
You know what? There was a time where I think a majority of members didn't, and still there are today many that don't. But no. So first of all, welcome. Second of all, congratulations on the gig. Whoa! And then also, did you get my email response after you got introduced?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
What did I say to your in your email?
On there, I think you gave me a few details on what I've got to do. I'm pretty good with it. It looks like I'm just going to get cued by an email from the larger club, and then I do some counting.
Yeah, you're mistaking me. You're mistaking me for somebody who said something nice in a response in an email. I said to you, "Welcome, don't f it up."
Oh, okay.
Remember that, that's what I said. Yeah,
I buried that.
Don't screw it up. Yeah.
Way back in my mind.
Right. Good. Well, welcome. Hey,
I'll do what I can. I'm always open to like, hey, John, here's better, or hey, you weren't listening.
No, man, I was totally messing with you. All right, give me this. Tell me what was your wackiest? So you don't have so you've got a few track days, but you probably don't have enough to have the wackiest one on the track. But wackiest story of whatever, whether it was on track, or whether it was at an event, a car event, a drive event, or one of your shows. Give me like a holy crap, that was a wacky story or a wacky thing that just happened.
Well, we could go to my first track day that I did with Nork, if that's a good one. It was my first track day. Super excited. Brought the older 911 to that, and it was a rainy day. So kind of a bummer. And so we did all the original talk, drivers meeting, and so on and so forth. Get divided into groups. Go out for our first lap around Pacific Raceways. Some guy in a Porsche Turbo came around turn one. Right after the very first lap, and got into it too much and bounced it off both walls.
Wow.
And not only ruined his car. Thankfully, he wasn't hurt. Car destroyed. First session destroyed.
Yeah. Happens.
Wacky and unfortunate, maybe.
Good learning lesson to I mean, you never want that to happen, but when it does, you take from that, like, a it can happen in a second. It can happen at
Yep.
any moment. It takes a second. Number two, listen to what the CDI said in the drivers meeting. Right? Hey, it's raining today.
Like,
Going through and coming out of turn one, it's slippery as hell. That Pacific Raceway
tires
is.
up.
And yeah, you just you take that as a learning lesson, and hopefully the driver was okay, and just a bruised ego and a mashed up car, but it's a hard way to learn.
Yeah. Needless to say, it did not scare me, and I went on to have a wonderful day.
Good,
The rest of the trip, of course, was without incident. Um,
good.
but it's just a combination of factors, and I think specifically not listening to the instructor who had said, "Take it real easy," specifically right here,
Mm-hmm.
and take it easy because it's wet, and take it easy because you're in the novice group.
Yep.
But
It
I'm
happens.
sure you've seen
It
things like
happens.
that. Uh,
Happens. Yep.
who knows what actually happened there? But yeah,
Yeah.
and then here on the show, wacky things happen all the time. Whether because I was trying to get some burnouts done
Right.
after the show, or maybe in the garage. Um,
Has anybody on a burnout on a donut out in the garage? I mean, out in the parking lot. Has anybody just barely made it, or like, just nicked something, or dropped a wheel into a planter? Any close
the
calls?
only time anything at all has ever happened was I had the Got Rod, which is a really awesome racing chassis rat rod, and the Bad Hombre, which is a 1960s era gasser with 800 horsepower blown V8, really beautiful car. And I had them both try to do burnouts in the garage, and the Got Rod, the front wheels just couldn't hold it. It's got just so much tire in the back, so
Yeah.
it pushed through kind of right out in front of my camera, which was cool. And the Bad Hombre just started, just destroying his tires, which I'm still cleaning up actually, filling the garage with smoke. It was awesome. It was just so awesome. Fire shooting out the exhaust, and finally, the whole garage was full of smoke. And he let off, and he started kind of just walking it out, and the cams just kind of loping, boom, 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 and he just gave it a bump on the throttle as he was coming out of the garage, and of course the car kicked to the side a little tiny bit, and ripped a piece of trim out of the garage, and dented his quarter panel and scrubbed his livery a little bit. Um, but we were all just like in awe,
Right. Right.
And he was like, I'll fix it. It's no big deal. I don't even care. Let's fix your wall. And we were all just, yeah, that was probably one of the most amazing days here.
Yeah.
But
That sounds like a lot of fun.
as far as incidents go, that was it's all in the past, and
It's
it was all worth. I'd always do it again.
I got to look that up. But it's on video, right? Did that get
Oh yeah,
captured?
back on Heavy Metal Affliction there.
All
It's
right.
probably about probably August this year.
Cool. I'm gonna look that up. That sounds like a lot of fun. Because I think a lot of people had burnouts and all that, but that sounds like an epic one. Um, um, Rob Newby had a good one, except it was raining, I think, right? He was kicking it mostly water, wasn't he?
He's done 3
Oh,
now.
has
He was
he? Okay.
last week to be a guest on Friday for to talk about fabrication on Daily Driver, and he brought the Neep, his 1965 Jeep Gladiator that's
Oh, I
on the
haven't.
Titan body and drivetrain. So it looks really awesome, like a Gladiator, but runs real nice, like a Titan. So he did some burnouts here. The posi rear end isn't quite dialed in yet, so it was a really awesome smoky one wheel peel. And then when he was here the second time, or the time before that, he brought his GTR, totally wet day, and he took the boys out and did some monster truck donuts because all wheel drive, right?
Mm,
And then the first time he brought the Godspeed truck,
the truck, yeah.
and that was an awesome wet day, and he had these slow rotation,
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
yeah, that was his first one, and it was like nothing I'd seen. Water flying off the tires
Yeah.
heating up enough just to steam as they
Yeah,
went.
yeah.
It was super cool, and it's hard to do donuts here in the Wayne,
Yeah.
because it's wet. But that thing had so much tire and Rob's a really good driver, so he
Yeah.
was able to just maintain these sweet donuts. That's that's why I love my job.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the one. That's the only one I saw. I needed to go back and check those other ones out for sure, and watch some of that old video. What's coming up next, man? What do you got going on? I mean, aside from things obviously coming back to normal and schedule being filled up again. I mean, again, you're super lucky. You get to do what you're doing there at home for the most part. What's the next thing that you're super excited about that's coming up?
Ooh, I think right now I'm really excited about the Daily Driver Show. It's still kind of in its infancy. It's a Monday through Friday daily show, 30 minutes of random car related topics.
Hmm.
I'm really excited about that. If everything continues to go my way this year, I think I'm going to buy a T bucket. Um,
Sweet.
because I love my Porsches. Those are great driving cars, and I have some other functional cars. But I would like to have something that's completely useless and does one thing well, which is look ridiculous and ridiculously cool,
Right.
and do donuts. So when I have a guest that maybe doesn't want to do them, I still have a way to show off.
Right.
And I've never really owned a V8, a big nasty loud V8. And when I
Yeah.
have those people on the show, I will end up walking away from that show, going on to Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and
Looking for a T
some,
bucket. Right. Right.
um,
There's always
so
those. Yeah. There's always those days, right, where you're somewhere at a show or at a track, and you're like, "There's that car again. There's that type of car again." You come home and yeah,
yep,
you end up on Craigslist. Hey,
class of dirt, and at the end of the day at Dirtfish, you're like, God, I want a WRX.
right. Right. Hey, speaking of T buckets and how just epically cool they are, like literally timelessly cool, right? So back in the eighth grade, I knew it. So I have a buddy of mine I've known probably the longest out of everybody, a guy named Rob Gilliam. Shout out to Rob. Rob Gilliam was a good buddy of mine from like seventh or eighth grade on, and I'm still friends with him today. When he was in eighth grade, his mom and his dad would drop him off and pick him up in a tea bucket
Sweet.
at middle school. Yeah, talk about
But did you hate
being.
that? Or did you love that?
Oh, he loved that. Yeah. Oh, and we were like, I think I was. I mean, we were even at what age is that? I don't know, 13, 12, whatever. I don't know, with 13, 14 years old. Even at that age, I mean, clearly that stuff is super cool. Like it's scary, and that
Well,
thing.
yeah, unless T-Bucks you look at it, you're like, wait, where's the front end of that?
Yeah, super cool. Like, what happened to that car? Like, are you, did something happen to your car to get torn apart?
Why is
But
it so
Tom, you don't have a roof, man. But talk about the coolest thing ever. Just rolling up to the front of the school. He jumps out, no door, just jumps out. And that was epically cool in eighth grade.
sweet?
Any age, but at eighth grade to be dropped off, yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Hey, dude, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad things are going well. And I missed you at the event last weekend, but we'll get you back out again soon.
no, that was
Uh,
totally out. I was caught up. I literally caught up in the panic. I read your
yeah,
email. I saw canceled in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I just stopped reading. My mind was just like, dang it, I knew it.
yeah, yeah.
And then of course I missed what might be the last track day to ever have on Earth.
That was so. The only other track day that happened after that was with Performance the following Sunday. So this past Sunday, and it was epic weather on both of them. So yeah, so very very
Yeah, yeah, it
cool.
was a beautiful day that day.
Yeah,
So yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
for
I
sure.
think I'm gonna go cry now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just you got plenty.
Right back in my head as one of the hugest mistakes I've made in my life. Sorry.
The good thing is you've got your toilet paper and your hand and your paper towels organized on your shelf. Just go up there, take a roll down, and wipe your eyes, wipe your tears. You'll be good.
And I've got my health, I've got my family.
Yeah, true.
I'm in a really good place. So
Good. I'm
I don't
glad to hear it.
think a lot of my energy trying to think of others who aren't, because
Yeah.
this is a crazy time. This is nothing to take lightly
No, it's
anymore.
weird, man. It's weird. It's. Oh,
We're all going to remember it for the rest of our lives, which will hopefully be a very long time.
I agree with you. It's weird. I waffle back and forth between being concerned, like really concerned, like holy cow, what's going to happen? What's happening next? Is it going to be normal after this? And then I flip to the side, like thinking, of course it's going to be okay, right? We're going to get through it. This is America. We're smart. We're already.
Yeah, I don't know if we've acted that way so far. I'm hoping that becomes to be the case. I
Yeah.
don't want to be looking at the glass half full, but I really think uh, a lot of Americans are just like, whatever.
Yeah, but I think I think that's human. That's human, not just American. But I think that once the shit really started to hit the fan, and it still is. But I think that I think we're getting it. I think people are getting it. And I'm
I
hopeful.
think definitely getting it.
Yeah,
At New York's expense, with New York
yeah,
being such a crazy hotspot, and with the number of 100,000
yeah,
being hit last night, I think a lot of people that might even have been very, very skeptical still, or on the tough guy route. Hopefully, they're coming around or being
Yeah.
told to come, so we can all just do our part. And the only thing we can do is hang out in the garages or at home. Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We're not being sent to war.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah.
so
We're being asked to stay. Sorry, cut you off. We're being asked to stay in our homes, in our garages, in our shops, on our couch, whatever. So not too bad. So as long as everybody's safe,
harder
everybody's
to come for sure than others. But I hope we can all just do our part.
right on, man. Take care, dude. Get back to your get back to the rock star,
Yeah.
and rip it up. Say again.
I got a concert to get back to.
That's right. Your fans are waiting for you. All right,
Yeah.
all right, my friend.
Thanks for calling, man. It's good. This is something people got to do. You got to stay in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Get your social out, right?
Exactly.
So we're not just turning into cave monkeys.
Getting hairy like one, but yeah, I know what you mean. Right on.
Got to have it somewhere.
I love it. All right, take care, buddy.
Or Marco.
Yeah, same thing.
Marco Avoca. But anyways.
Yeah. Later.
Later, man.